Welcome to the Rose Flame Podcast, where together we uncover divine mysteries and discover our divinity and humanity wrapped together as one. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again. I invite you into this space, so relax, take a load off. Today we are going to dive into some mysteries and some things that the Spirit just wants to flow on. And to be honest with you, I don't have much of a clue, which is kind of just how it works for me. I do have some ideas. So I hope that this podcast recording number 20 finds you well, at ease, at peace, at home in your body, and ready to receive some downloads and some upgrades. So let's dive in. There has been a profound and clear observation in the natural and in the spirit in the past 7 days. And what I am witnessing has been a long time coming, okay? What we are on the verge of seeing is the whole paradigm collapse. The paradigm that I speak about is patriarchy and the systems that are connected to patriarchy to keep it going, which in all actuality are all the systems in some way, some shape, some form. The divine feminine voice is secure, stabilized, and rising. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I feel the fire of God. Yeah. Because that's the thing. She is a flame. She is a flame in her wholeness, in her sovereignty. She is a flame. But make no mistake, these divine feminine women, and I'm going to speak on this, women, because there is a particular set of women that are rising and they have paid a price. You see, things like this don't just come when you check the box and you go to church every Sunday and you do the good girl things and you play the good girl games. And I am not talking about dishonoring others in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm not talking about being angry with anyone. I'm not talking about having certain groups of individuals that you look down upon or you feel should be liberated or enlightened. I'm not speaking on the bitter, dark, false feminine. I'm talking about the pure feminine, the holy feminine that is full of love for humanity. She has been through so many fires and flames. And here is the thing. It is simply surrender. Surrender to the Mother. Surrender to the Holy Spirit, which is one and the same. Because let's be real, you can't have a father and a son without a mother. I mean, it honestly is, it makes me chuckle. But there was a time when this was offensive to me, and it had to be all about Yahshua, 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 Yahshua. And Yahshua, oh, bless him, how I love him, how I adore him, how he adores me. He is in partnership with so many other beings. And he came to liberate humanity, but he didn't come alone. And I believe somehow he's a key piece to the mother returning in her sovereignty, in her leadership in some ways. So what we're watching and seeing unfold, I love it too, because I think it's so beautiful when men can support what is happening in the spirit, because they know what the earth needs. And the earth needs her. The earth needs the nurturer. The earth needs the comforter. The earth needs the one that opens her arms in love, not pointing a finger with what you've done wrong or what someone perceives you've done wrong. No, opening your arms in love. Love and encouragement is what the mother is bringing. Because anybody can find the dirt. And we've done that long enough, especially in religion. You know, we have a certain view of the way things should be. And anything outside of that, it's got to be addressed. It's got to be wrong. Because we have to be correct. And we need to save you, and we need to point you in the right direction, when the Holy Spirit will do all of that. And we're headed into a time, we are walking there now, okay? A time where the unseen is becoming more real than the seen for a large population of people who have been in awakening. And so when this happens, there's a tendency for confusion, illusion, to be disoriented. But it is so magical and beautiful and painful at times, the way that the Spirit will lead you to something and through something and reveal something, and all for the benefit of so many. But it is really crucial in this time that we lean not on our own understanding. Lean not on our own understanding. It is very crucial that we do not attempt to understand what is happening in the natural. We're being led and guided into a place of great faith that is way beyond what I have witnessed or experienced. But I am walking into it, and it has been disillusioning at moments. It has been a place of self-doubt. It has been a place of, did I misstep? Is this right? But I want to be the pioneer that I am. the forerunner that I am, that I have always been, and say that you are right where you're supposed to be. The only mistake that we need to be afraid of making is the idea of making a mistake. So let me expound on that. If we are constantly living in fear of anything, getting something wrong, mishearing God, going the wrong way, doing the wrong thing, we are going to be in a place of hell. Literally. When you are in the flow of the Spirit, you don't have concerns. You don't have fears. You don't have doubts. You don't have trust issues. You don't have anxiety. You don't wonder what's going to happen. You don't try and attempt to find what is wrong with a situation or a place or a person. You are simply in this now moment and you are enjoying life. And life is good in that place. Life is abundant in that place. It is Zoe life in this place of now. When you're flowing with the Spirit, you have no concerns. You have no worries. You have no fears. And that can be convicting, right? Like hearing myself say this, it's like I can think of times even recently that I've been concerned. And maybe I've been confused, and maybe I've been afraid, or maybe I've even been in emotional pain and agony and anger. And that's okay. I'm allowed to feel all those things. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that even rage, all of these emotions, they serve us somehow if we let them, if we sit with them. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, don't outsource your power to anyone else. Don't attempt to ask someone else to figure it out for you. Because the truth of the matter is, they can't. They're seeing through their own lens. They're seeing through their own perception. They're seeing through their own perspective, and they're going to project that onto you. Does it make them terrible? It makes them human. It's just the way it generally works. Because it's really a difficult thing to die to those places and to rise into a spirit-led reality. Because there are many systems put in place that have taught us to stay in a box. And there are many systems put in place that have silenced the true voice of God, silenced the true mysteries of God, silenced the true move of God because it doesn't seem like the God that someone has been taught. And here is what really disheartens me, especially with, well, yeah, it's humanity. It really is. We have been taught not to trust our own intuition. And we have been taught not to trust that we're led. We've been taught not to trust ourselves. We have been taught not to trust ourselves. And for about 10 years now, I didn't really have anyone. Not really. Not anyone that at the time I could trust. Not anyone that I felt safe with. Not anyone that I felt understood me or could lead me in the proper direction. But I did have this spirit. I did have this spirit. And she has been with me. And she has made herself plain, and she has made herself clear. And hear me out. She has led me through. She has led me to some very intense places, some very mystical revelations, some things that the Spirit knew that I would perceive to be natural, but it was really so holy and above me and above all the natural things. And I remember the first year into this surrender to the Spirit, I began to hear, lean not on your own understanding. Lean not on your own understanding. Lean not on your own understanding. Because I can vividly remember, I can see it clearly even now. When I would be sitting on my couch and in deep places in the Spirit, receiving all of these downloads at such a rate that it was overwhelming to my carnal mind. And so it was like I would feel anxiety, anxious, and I needed to understand and I needed to know, what does this mean? And this is too much. And then the Spirit would say to me, lean not on your own understanding. And I would take a deep breath. And I would realize I don't have to understand. And this was 2017 when this really began heavily. And the thing of it is, I knew back then that I was praying in the Spirit. We have a visitor. Yeah. I knew even then that I was praying in the Spirit, and I was praying against one of the greatest weapons that destroys people all over the earth and has for thousands of years, and that is trafficking in all kinds of forms. It's a very deep state. It's a very deep thing. And I knew even then that I was praying against it. There were so many supernatural things. Gosh, just to remember helps me to see what we're going into right now. Because we're headed into a time where we're going above the supernatural. We're going above the signs, miracles, and wonders that we think are the great things. We're going above laying hands and seeing healing, and not that, I mean, do that if you feel that, absolutely. And thank you for your part, literally. But we are, yeah. We are transfiguring reality. We are the lamb. We are the lambs. We are the flock. We are the ones who go to the slaughter all day long. We are as sheep to the slaughter. We bear the burdens of humanity in our physical bodies. So Isaiah 53, Christ came to show you. And there's no better way to put it. Christ came to show you who you are. That you are worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Who is worthy to open the scrolls? What are the scrolls? It is your DNA coming alive. It is your chakra, your energy system coming online. And who is worthy? You feel that? All the way up your spine? You feel that heat? Because it's so real. And we're not shown these things. We're not taught these things. We're actually shamed for going into the deeper places. This is what the Divine Mother is bringing. These revelations of love. Because with this activation and with these light codes and with the sacredness of what is being downloaded in this moment, even now, there is a duty, an obligation, a responsibility. And it's as simple as surrender. And when you surrender, you will continue to count the cost. You will pay a price. You will have loss. You will be misunderstood. You will have to leave even family behind, so to speak. When I say that, I mean you will have to separate more. You will have to talk less to some people that you love dearly. People will leave you without a word, without closure. Maybe you will lose finances. But I want to tell you that everything you lose, God replaces with even greater. And so these people rising up have paid a cost time and time again. And if you're interested in really tapping in or attempting to receive what it is that I'm saying, if it's something that doesn't connect to you or hit you, read Isaiah 53 and then go on to 54. We like to think of Jesus as a man. We like to think of Yahshua as a man and the one Christ. And it's an illusion. To think that way is to separate yourself from all of the assets of heaven. And the greatest assets of heaven are encounter and revelation and love and peace and frequency of joy. And one thing I know, we are transfiguring reality. When Yahshua talked about the greater works, this is what he spoke about, transfiguring reality. And he knew in that day, I will pray that you will be in me and I will be in you and we will be one with the Father. And I'm paraphrasing John 17. It was his greatest prayer, his longest prayer. And he really was praying that we would see who we are. Not that we would worship him, not that we would put him in a box or a religion or a book, but that we would be free to explore all the sacred boundaries, all the places, all the things, wherever the Spirit leads. And that we would do it as little children, that we would do it with joy. You know, oftentimes fear parades itself as wisdom. And I've been guilty. It's like the kingdom, we're children and everything is ours. And so when the Spirit says something, you can take it to the bank. Even if you don't understand, even if the outcome isn't what you saw or thought, you can still take it to the bank and you can relinquish your need to understand. This is sovereignty. When you just let the flow be the flow. We're seeing so many divine masculine rising up to speak for women and to speak for children and to speak for not just equality, but that women would have their rightful place and be seated on the throne of grace. And patriarchy loses its grip in this time. And it's not going to be pretty, you guys. Think about history. Think about history. When kings lost their position, when, things went awry. It was not just some smooth ride. This is why you had better be tapped into your inner man. This is why you had better know the voice of God for yourself without needing to put that voice in a box or understand. This is why you need to walk by faith and not by sight. And it's getting critical and crucial that you would be willing and able to be in that position to not need to see, to believe, to not need to know, to understand, but just to be seated, just to be sovereign. You know everything you need to know by someone's vibration. And let me tell you, when you vibrate like heaven does, you are changing everything and everyone around you, whether they want it or not. They can feel it. Some of them, it makes them really uncomfortable. And it's very intimidating. But others, you're like a magnet. And that's the thing. And if you think about a magnet, you have the positive and the negative. You can't possibly attract where the magnet just repels. Right? It doesn't work. So stop trying. Completely. Relinquish the need to try. Anything you have to force is not real. It's not true. It's not something you really need in your life. That's hard, isn't it? Some people you really want to be in relationship with. You have to go by energy. And I believe this is a time to really go within. A realignment, a resetting, a refinement. Even in your sovereign relationships, where you see much clearer places that people have in your life. There is such deep reverence and intimacy happening in these places. And there's also a falling away, a falling apart. Because understand this, when the divine feminine, which could be man or when the divine feminine, if that is your true nature, when that internal compass sets flame, when the dross is burnt away, when the grass has been ablaze, and the seeds begin to bloom, there's no stopping you. And there is no silencing you. And you're not the same. Over and over again, you're reborn. You're changed. You're transformed, transfigured, elevated, lifted up, seeing from even a higher perspective of love. That's the thing. That's it. It's always love. Okay. But this causes those who thought they knew you to become uncomfortable. And you begin speaking different. And your language changes. And your sound reverberates at higher frequency. And you become unable to put in a box. And you become unable to be silenced or talked to the same way you used to deal with. That's where we are right now. By the way, the divine feminine is not dealing with the things that they dealt with in the past. They're refusing. This is causing a dynamic shift in relationships. And it's beautiful, but it's painful. Okay? It's painful. And if you have the need to be right, you're going to be in trouble all the time. Because you're going to be found wrong, mostly, by others. And that's what vulnerability is. It's being okay with it. Expressing your nature, your true self. Being true to the spirit that's within you. Being true to the encounters that you've shared with heaven. Being true to the downloads and the master codes. All of it. Being true to the fact that we are in this world, but we're not of this world. We're not even from here. That's the reality. You know, we like to quote this religious mumbo jumbo. Well, this is not my home. You know, heaven is my home. You are heaven. And if you don't know, then you are probably operating from hell. And that's what people are experiencing from you. Or maybe it's back and forth. You know, Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What is Christ? An anointing. It's not a person. It's God, the anointing of pure consciousness. This is the awakening that's happening, the shift. It's going way beyond a book, way beyond a person, and way beyond a religion. And that makes many people uncomfortable. but it's coming head to head. And the thing of it is, grace wins. Love wins. We must embrace our brothers and sisters. Within reason, we must embrace them until they don't want to be embraced anymore. You know, that's the irony. Is so many run from the very thing they desire. It's a very uncomfortable thing when someone sits with you in love and doesn't need anything from you, doesn't desire repayment, doesn't have a hidden motivation, isn't trying to prove a point, but simply just wants to sit with you, show you that you are enough, you are loved. And that is something, sadly, many people never experience. And so if they do, when they do, it makes them uncomfortable. It makes them want to back up. It makes them want to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you so kind? Why are you so generous? Why are you so full of love? Why are you so full of grace? What is it that you want from me? And when someone begins to see that you don't really want anything, that can be a scary place. Because then it comes down to them in relationship with the very nature and essence of love. And the world has an idea of what love is. That's not it. That's not what love is, what the world says. The world is propagating a selfish love. A love that doesn't sacrifice or give anything up. And sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes you do. And generally it's in the times you're all alone. In those spaces that you cry out. Because if you're still listening to this message, then I know that you do. You sit with yourself, you cry, you feel, and you awaken the dormant DNA. You awaken the light, the frequency. You pay a price to bear the sins of the world, to bear the unbelief of the world, to bear the burdens of the world. Why? Because people do not know that they are God. They have no idea. So they live in all these lower level places in reality. But when someone like you comes along, presence is so strong right now. When someone like you comes along, everything has to change. Nothing can stay the same. So anybody who doesn't want to change will resist you, but those who are ready, if it's their time, they will enter into the vibration that you carry, even if it's momentary. And they will tap into something that they will have forever. Because you choose to follow the Spirit at all costs. And in the time that we're headed into, you're going to have to be able to look within and not around. You're going to have to be able to be at peace in the midst of chaos. And to know that everything is not just okay, it's beautiful. It's working out for your highest good and those around you as well. They may not even appreciate it. They may not even know. And that's okay too. It's okay. You're not here for a pat on the back. You're here where you are because you can't go back. You can't turn around. This is it. There's no other way but the deeper things. You know, sometimes the Spirit will lead you and guide you and revelate to you and show you things, and you'll experience things even in your body. All for the purpose of someone else or their family or their bloodline to be delivered. Sometimes you'll have the most excruciating moments in emotional turmoil, loss, and pain, because someone else needed something in that place. That's love. That's love. And we can, it sounds so cliche, but we can count it all joy. We can, because we know heaven has our back. And we know that God is always good. Always. We know the plans that God has for us are good, exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask, think, or imagine. But if we are requiring to see the evidence, we're always going to miss it. We have to be able to see the opposite of the evidence and still believe it. This is the reality of transfiguration. We have to be able to envision what we know to be true in heaven. Not what we're seeing, not even what we're experiencing. This is what we're walking into. It will be important that we are able to operate from this place. And we will be the key, and we will be the door, and we will be the answer. And not because we need to be, simply because we are, simply because we exist, simply because I am, right? It's not by attempting to do anything, to fix anyone, to convince anyone. It's simply by being. It's the greatest power we have. And I see it time and time again. And God has really brought me into such a miraculous rest And it has not come easy. This is the crazy part. It's come through lots of pain, pattern recognition, pattern demolition, healing, and growth. Coming into sovereignty is what is needed for humanity to truly be saved, and not saved from an illusion of hell, a place that does not exist, but saved from the matrix, saved from the programming of this world, saved from being a slave to this world. The only way is sovereignty, to understand you do not need anything. You don't need a pastor, you don't need a priest, you don't need a church, you don't need discipleship. You don't need money, you don't need anything. It's all within you. It will come your way, everything you need, if you just know that you don't need anything. It's the irony. It's like, the whole idea of manifestation is BS. Because you're sitting there attempting to get something that you think you don't have. You're not going to get it that way. You have to be content in the place of, I already have all that. That's what Christ said, actually. He said, if you believe, you don't doubt. What does that mean? That means I already know. It's already mine. This is already done. Everything is great, exceedingly, abundantly. Oh, my family, it looks this way, but it's actually that because I'm seeing from heaven. Oh, my daughter is, headed down the wrong path. No, she's not. I don't see that for her. I see the opposite of that. Transfiguring reality. It's a very real thing. We're here to learn how to manipulate energy, to control energy, to ultimately create matter from nothing. And I'm working on it. And honestly, I'm seeing results in ways that I couldn't imagine. Because, it's great to have things for myself or my own blessings, but what really makes my heart beat is to see someone else come alive. And it all goes hand in hand. I know. I'm okay with that. Yeah. So we're at a critical mass moment of awakening in the earth, in humanity. And I'm talking about people, especially women, waking up to the systematic abuse. And as this happens, the men will have to wake up as well. And the key is to do it in grace and love. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the men and the women who are standing for the Spirit. Those who are standing for the true nature of God. Those who are standing for pure consciousness. Those who are refusing to put God in a box. I commend you, and I want to honor you, and I want to thank you, because Mother is rising, and she is needed. Humanity is longing for the nurturing and the comfort of the Divine Mother, We do need the Divine Father. We do need the structure and the direction. We absolutely do. But we've had that without the soft nurture, without the gentle hand, without the healing touch, without the pure hug of love. Because ultimately, the mother is divine love, the flame of love. And she burns for you, for me, for everything, for everyone. To come into first a relationship with themselves, with divine creation, creator, also with everything around. The grass, the trees, the dirt, the leaves, the flowers, the chickens, the sky, the lakes, the rivers, and one another. And to be in a place of reverence for everything. Not just what benefits you, not just what you believe, not just what you think, not just what works for you, not even your own understanding. You know, the carnal mind is enmity towards God. I've really been pondering this today. The carnal mind is enmity towards God. What does that word enmity mean? Hatred. So the carnal mind hates God. And then we are gods. So basically, the carnal mind hates itself. That's deep. And you can see that wound in humanity because they don't know who they are. And so they live from their mind instead of their heart. And they're reverberating chaos and attempting to live from what they think they understand, all the while hating themselves somewhere deep down, because the carnal mind is enmity towards God. What does that mean? It means live from the Spirit, live from your heart, surrender to the flow and the ebb of the Spirit that is like the wind. You don't know where she's going or where she's been. She just is. She is magnificent. And she is lovely. And she is beautiful. And she is magical. And to see her move in a human vessel is a beauty to behold, a sight to see. Yeah. She rises. So don't brace for impact. Just don't go by what you see. Go by what you know. Go by what you're feeling as you go. Listen to the Spirit. Tap in. And then take the leaps of faith. It's going to require you to do some scary things. But God's got your back. You know that? The one thing I never want to do is live with regret. I don't ever want to look back and say, dang, I should have took that risk God told me to take. Nope. It's not going to be me. I'll be the radical crazy one, following the Spirit like the wind in every season. And I may fall down, I may cry, and I may have hard moments that are ordained by heaven to wash away what needs to wash away within me and others, but I rise You rise. We rise together. Let that be the anthem. We rise together like the phoenix. And with that, I'm going to go. So sit with this. Chew on it. Let it marinate. I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us today in discovering divine mysteries. If you'd like to connect or partner with us, please email theroseflamesophia@gmail.com. See you next time.